Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the road with us. I'm hanging out with Ethan from Happy Paddlin today, and we're at Next Adventure's Scapoose Bay location, which is an epic, beautiful on-water spot. So the idea with today is we're going to meet with the Next Adventure staff. We're going to clinic them on all the products, try to get them up to speed on all the things we sell. And then, most importantly, we're going to go hit the water. We're going to talk a little bit about the different boats, who they're right for. Kind of the same thing I would do with you guys here on the channel, but I'm doing it with the staff so they can give the best customer service experience when you come out to Scapoose Bay to demo or buy a kayak. Here's our setup. We're getting dialed in before the staff gets here. Beautiful showroom here. This is their boat department. This is the main showroom here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
So we're here with the Next staff playing demo day today. But you guys can come down and do your own demo day because they have one of everything Eddie Line sales in the demo fleet, as well as a bunch of other brands. You can come down, play Goldilocks, try a few, see what works for you. Beautiful spot to test boats too.
Got one, I'll wear it.
All right, Scapoose, let's go. Woo. No, you're good, watch.
There we go.
Hey, we're twins. What a cool spot.
So much nicer paddling than my son Dolphin. But my son Dolphin is also only a $200 boat. So.
Exactly, yeah, what do you expect,
You
right?
get what you pay for, right?
Yeah. How's that Skylark treating you?
Very phenomenally.
Alright, cool.
Love this boat.
When you're paddling like in a sea kayak, what I guess what is the technique of Mitch was mentioning something of keeping it tighter, I think?
You have a paddler's box, which is the same in any kayak really, like your arms, your chest, and your paddle make a box. You're catching the water up at your toes. So your power comes from your toes to your knees. So the further you can catch the water up front, the more power you're gonna get into that stroke.
Okay.
And then when he's saying a shorter stroke, that means as you paddle, catch your feet, you can come out right about your hips and maybe even slightly behind, but the power is from your feet to your knees, and from your knees to your hips is sort of the exit of your stroke. So you're rotating forward, catching your feet. That top hand is gonna push as the bottom hand pulls. And what that does is it initiates a rotation.
Okay.
Right? So catch, rotate, that top hand pushes.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah. And then as you paddle on your right, you can drive through your right foot as you rotate. Paddle on the left, drive through your left foot. So you start using your legs to engage with the boat.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
okay.
And then if you want to turn, let's take a turn to the left. We're going to do the same stroke, but we're going to just let it hang a little wider. So think about as we stroke, you're going to catch at your toes, but then low and wide. You're going to keep like a big arch. So that top hand can now drop down a touch, like more in front of your chest. There you go. But you're still using that pushing motion. And you really notice this if you push through your feet. So as we're sweeping on the right, I'm driving through my right foot, thinking about driving the nose of my boat to the left. See that? Oh, now you're starting to edge. Because as you straighten that leg out, you naturally shift your weight to your right butt cheek, right?
Yeah.
And that naturally puts the boat on an edge. And these sea kayaks carve when they're on an edge. Watch what happens to me. If I paddle straight and just shift my weight,
Yeah.
the boat carves a turn. Just by body English. I'm not doing anything else.
Right.
I can fake a sweep and it's going to do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Now if I add a little bit of paddle stroke to that, can set up, edge, sweep. Nice. Look like a sea kayaker.
Kind of regretting it.
I would totally buy a sea kayak if I had somewhere to put it.
Well, you work here and there's a boathouse right here too. So there's, you know, got a pretty good gig considering.
Yeah.
Do you live in Portland?
I do.
Cool.
Yeah. I've been wanting to go sea kayaking in San Juans for a while now.
Bald eagle.
I want to just, I want to get up close to those whales.
Yeah, I've always dreamed of that. I've only been up there paddling one time, and I've never done it as like an overnight. I think that would be really fun. How we doing? I'm going to give you a few points. The most important thing I see you doing, we never turn our paddle backwards in our hands. Never ever.
Yeah.
Because what will happen at some point is you'll be trying to make a move in a situation where you need to move quick. That thing's going to do like this and go like this and trip over, and you're going to swim.
Got it.
And it might be a habit to break, but you just use the back face of your paddle. If you want to stop or back paddle, just use the back face. But that way you always stay engaged and indexed to your paddle.
Got it. Smart.
So this is like your hand in the water, right? You can feel the water, you can use it, but you don't ever want to spin the shaft in your hand. All right, look at these eddy lines. Looks great.
Have a preference for width?
Yeah, on that bow, I like a 230. And then as far as your paddler's box,
Yeah.
I go just, I don't know, not quite 90.
Yeah, like a bench press, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Shoulder width, and then I do like about a fist on either side is where I like to be. Just enough so I'm engaging my lats, my core, but I'm not like way stretched out.
Yep.
I love this neoprene hoodie. Super nice. Thin, but it's warm enough. Keeps the wind off a little bit, but also just, I don't feel like I'm wearing paddling clothes, but I can still get it wet. That's awesome. It's becoming one of my favorite pieces of gear lately for these kind of shoulder season days where it's not quite hot, it's not quite cold. I'm not ready to put on a full dry suit or splash top. It's a great option. I also can wear it to tacos afterwards without looking like a Starship Enterprise captain or something.
So in a whitewater boat, right, you're edging kind of where you want to go.
Right, into your turn. Let me explain that a little bit.
It's
Think of it more like this. I can still do an inside edge turn on a sea kayak, absolutely. But an inside edge turn kills my speed. And in a river, I've got to change a current. So I'm like, I want to like slam on the brakes, catch that eddy, peel back out. So I'm always leaning into the turns because you want that current to hit the bottom of your boat. In a sea kayak or touring kayak, you're trying to keep that speed moving. So if I edge to the inside of my turn, the boat's going to turn, but it's going to stop.
Right.
Okay, so it still works exactly the same. But if I want to keep the boat going, I edge to the outside, and the back of the boat breaks loose, but it's actually pushing the boat forward through a turn.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I can keep the power going, or utilize the sweep, and just use the edge of the boat to kind of carve that turn and keep.
And then are you still paddling on
I want to see some otters.
on your down edge side or your up edge side?
Stroking, right, when you're doing
Like,
that?
yeah, if I'm going to the left, I'm going to edge to my right and sweep on my right. Does that make sense?
And sweep on your right.
Yeah. So like, I'll just try to demonstrate. An outside edge turn would look something like this. I set up with my edge, catch, sweep. And now I'm going to keep it going forward. Now an inside edge, same thing, but it kills my speed. My boat just kind of pivots into a stop.
Right.
Whereas that outside edge, I actually change directions and keep the boat moving. Oh, it feels good to be in a kayak.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that looks great. Really nice. And then if you really want to get playful with it, you can get that edge turn going, and you can like augment it with the bow rudder. It's like a hanging draw up at your bow. And that works kind of like the front wheels of your car. Just like, you know, bow draw wouldn't it?
Are you crossing there?
No, just,
Okay, just hold your hand.
you want to hold the edge. You want to initiate with the sweep on the opposite side, and then draw. And it's like the front tires of your car. Just sort of like sets the angle, gets the turn going, and it allows that stern to break loose even more. All right. Ooh, another bald eagle. There's so many bald eagles here.
So many.
That's
All
crazy.
these blue herons are together. Crazy.
Oh, okay. Cool. I tend to prefer my Sitka just because of the playful nature of it. It still packs a load. It's still decently fast.
Love it.
but the Sitkas are quite a bit more playful.
Yeah, so is there like, the Sitka is like the kind of touring and sea play boat in the eddy line?
You know, I wouldn't call it a play boat. I would call it like a light touring boat.
Okay.
It is more playful. It's more stable.
But I guess if somebody's like, I want a boat that's like a little playful, that's gonna be the Sitka.
Yeah, exactly.
Over some of the other things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Just because.
Is there any thought to make like a more play-oriented, like a little more rocker?
And I'm definitely like a big proponent of that. Like, let's make it even more playful. Like, let's make it even more rocker and like displace the volume so when you catch a wave, it doesn't plow in. It has a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's been a lot of people who have come in and been like, I have an eddy line like a Sitka right now, and I really like it, but I'm looking for something that's like a little bit more playful, and it's normally they're looking at like Virgos or Aries.
I've been saying the same thing. Like, if we had a thermoformed Virgo-esque boat, that was 14 foot, but rockered out, a little bit more volume in the ends.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Because why send somebody to do a different brand? They're already sold on eddy lines.
And they like the eddy, like they aren't.
They just want better performance.
Right. They aren't like, I want a better brand or a better product. They're like, I just want a boat, and eddy line doesn't make it.
Exactly. 100%. So we got everyone in their different boats, showing them some basic instruction here. We've got everything from Caribbean 10s out here to Fathom, so the whole lineup. And it's fun to get the staff. We got whitewater boats paddling sea kayaks. We've got fishermen paddling wreck boats, so it's kind of fun to kind of mix it up, meet everyone where they're at and show them something, give them something to work on. One of the things I'm having them do right now is we got all these little pillars in the water, is just practice those draw strokes to move the boat sideways through the water. Kind of a fun little technique on these. I love playing with the edges on this boat. Such a, just a strong, confident edge. You know, this is a kayak I've never reviewed, and I will get a review on the channel for you guys. This is, I think, maybe my 6th Sitka XT. I've been using this boat forever. I did my ACA training in it years ago. I think probably over 10 years. I used to be called a Denali. I've always paddled one. It's sort of my like comfort blanket. It just does what I expect it to do. It's super confident on its secondary edge. If you watch like my kayaking 102 video, this is the kayak I did it in. So I will give you guys a full review and talk about this XT, because it's kind of crazy that it's a boat I spend probably the most time in, and I don't have a single video on it. Usually because when I'm in this boat, I'm out paddling for fun, just paddling for myself, but it's fun to bring you guys along. Gotta love this Next Adventure staff, man. These guys are going home.
It's not that deep.
Yeah, it's just a kayak.
Yeah, but it's big. It's big.
Yeah, it is different.
And my hips.
Yeah.
My hips are so different.
And your knee positions on sea kayaks are a little lower, a little out, as opposed to whitewater, you're kind of splayed out.
Yeah, it's a lot less like aggressive of a catch too. Like, I feel like I have to pull my knee up more than side to side.
Yeah. I always scoot my seat all the way forward so I get my knees like deeper into the coaming and the thigh pads like as far back on my thighs as possible, and then put hip pads in it. So I get that kind of more performance fit. Little tip for you guys too, if you want better control of your boat, those are a few little hacks that I do in the Sitka to sort of make it work for me. Like, I'm trying to get the most performance out of a kind of a recreational touring sea kayak. So hip pads, scoot the seat forward, and then adjust the back band where it's there to engage good posture, but it's not like cranked up. So I can still like sit back, relax, but as I'm engaging, I can move. And everything I do is talking to the boat with 8 points of contact. 2 on the feet, 2 on the knees, my butt, my back, my hips. Such a neat spot out here. There's all these little sloughs, and you could go all day and go up and down all these different sloughs and never see the same one twice. There's been like 6 bald eagles soaring around. Really pretty out here.
Shaft, carbon injection blade, so still nylon, but instead of fiber.
Tall guy in a little boat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today at Scapoose Bay. Had a great time working with the Next Adventure staff. A bunch of really enthusiastic young people. It was a good reminder to me that the future of paddle sports is in good hands. And as long as we get good information out there and continue to train the next generation, paddle sports has a bright future ahead of it. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, this is Dan wishing you happy paddling.